Jesse Morton from Light Upon Light. LightUponLight.online is a movement, off and online, that is dedicated to combating the hate, polarization, and extremism we see running and rampant and affecting societies everywhere. It is also, at the same time, an effort to induce what might be considered a new enlightenment. The belief that the only way that we can address the underlying issues that are affecting us, such as extremism, is if we address them with a higher level of consciousness than that which created them. Light Upon Light is a call, therefore, for people to adopt the position that, in an age of intersecting and mutually reinforcing extremisms, polarization, that we all have a role to play in addressing these concerns. It is a struggle for the future of tomorrow, and a struggle that one has to look at variables that are continuing to worsen. We have a rise in authoritarianism. We have a challenge to the international liberal order that has formulated and we largely take for granted since World War II. We have polarization at home that is rendering democracies inoperable. And Light Upon Light seeks to address those issues, but not to address them directly, but to address them by creating networks that can rival in size and scope extremist networks. How do we do that, and why do we know that's effective? Well, I formerly was a jihadist propagandist, working on behalf of al-Qaeda in the early 2000s in the United States. Known then as Yunus Abdullah Muhammad, I largely set a template and a propaganda platform that was appropriate for Western audiences that have now been replicated by ISIS and even far-right and far-left movements that are promoting their ideologies often online currently. We understood certain principles about network science that we applied in an effective manner. And today I reverse engineer those processes at Light Upon Light in a way to create an antithetical movement. A movement that's based upon principles that are antithetical to the narrow-mindedness, the tribalism, the us versus them perspectives, and the black and white worldviews that not just the extremists hold, but that if we take a step back from ourselves and reflect, we're all feeding into in a polarized situation currently. In order to develop Light Upon Light, I am at this time asking you to support us with financial contributions if you're able. What would that allow me to do? It would allow me to compensate influencers that are going to express themselves on our site. We need to formulate this as a movement. And a lot of the people that we have made connections to recently do live in conflict zones. They do live in very difficult and impoverished circumstances, but they have a tremendous gift to impart the very principles that can do the best to combat hate and extremism. We want to improve our production quality and quantity. We're shooting this right now in an adequate format to get the message across. But we believe that creative expression and art are the most effective and sustainable ways to inducing social change. And to do that, we want to be able to express ourselves through photography, through film, through filming of dialogue and interesting events and debates. And we know that we will deliver output that will be inspirational, that will be effective in promoting the kind of change that we want. But we want it to be attractive, and we want it to look good, and we want it to look as professional as possible in order for it to have its greatest impact. So it's a shout out, it's just a call for those that have seen what we do. For those that haven't, you can log on to lightUponLight.online and read some of our articles, look at some of our content, look at some of the creative and interesting things we're doing, and know that we're just getting started, and that with support from people like you, we can advance that. I think if you look into it, you'll find that we're in this for all the right reasons, and we're addressing an issue that is a primary social concern. In the same manner that we are concerned with cancer, HIV, smoking, or any other epidemic, we need to look at the epidemic that is the spread of violent and extremist and radical ideas. And we need to look at how other situations, such as cancers, can be resolved, but not if you just address the symptoms of the disease. Light Upon Light is an effort to get to the core root of the problem, and then to elevate consciousness in a way where we can allow it to benefit us. These are difficult and troubling times. But if we use these as motivation to all do something, to make a contribution to the future of society, it is in that level where we can learn the purpose of our existence and experience the same sense of meaning, significance, and camaraderie extremist movements offer their adherents, but at the same time working as a collective to induce that sort of collective consciousness that can truly change the world. It is an inspirational and an idealistic notion to imagine, but it is also one that I think if you take a step back and look at the current situations unfolding in the world today, you'll realize it's a very absolutely imperative one. We ask you to join us, and we ask you to support us. And if you can't do so financially, please just reach out. Even words of encouragement will be helpful. But we can find something for you to do at a local or at an online, transnational level. We hope to hear from you soon, and thank you for your time and listening. And we appreciate every single piece of support that you give us. May God bless you. Thank you so much.